2020 is the year to persevere. If you're thinking about building an accessory dwelling unit and giving yourself some more housing security, more flexibility, it's never been more important. And despite all of the crazy things that have happened this year, there have been a lot of good stories too. Programs launching, momentous milestones being reached, and real lives being affected by accessory dwelling units in a really positive way. So I'm going to go through some new programs that I want to make sure you know about, because you could save some money. You could share with a friend who's in a position to save some money. I want to let you know about some of those milestones so that you know that this is possible and achievable and that thousands of people are doing it in 2020. And I just want to thank you for watching and kind of give back a little at the end of the video. So without further ado, here's some of the programs that have launched that I think are just fantastic. The Los Angeles ADU Accelerator program is open to applicants again. This is a really cool program that's going to save a lot of landlords money, and it's going to help a lot of tenants find affordable housing. So what Los Angeles has done is it's put out some rates and said for a 1-bedroom you get to rent at this rate, 2-bedroom this rate, 3-bedroom this rate. If you want to rent out your ADU at that rate, you can apply, and the city of Los Angeles will find tenants for you, vet them to make sure that they can pay, and they'll keep your vacancy, keep your unit from sitting vacant. That's an amazing deal. It's going to save you a lot of headache and hassle if the city is doing the work of finding your tenants for you. And you can apply as a tenant. So if you're, if you're 60 years or older and you meet certain income requirements, you apply, and then they'll vet you to make sure that you have enough income to pay for these apartments or houses, and then they'll help you find an ADU that you can live in. And so if you qualify for either side as a homeowner or a tenant, or if you know somebody who would benefit from that, please share the video with them. There's a link in the description below that will allow you to apply. And if you subscribe to this video or my channel, then I'll keep you up to date with other programs like that as they open up. Which brings me to the next program, the Napa Sonoma ADU Center. This is in my own backyard. They've just launched a free feasibility study, which is amazing. These usually cost $300 to $500. It's one of the big first steps where you actually spend money out of pocket, getting a professional to come to your property and say, yeah, I think you could put an ADU here, or if you do, here's some costs that you're gonna maybe run into. Keep this in mind as you move forward. They're willing to send somebody out to your property for free if you've become part of this pilot program. So again, link in the description below. If you're a homeowner in Napa or Sonoma, or you know somebody, just share the video with them, and then you can apply for this free feasibility study. Highly recommended. And again, if you subscribe to this channel, I'll let you know about these ahead of time, right? As soon as they come out. This one just got launched this past month. Okay. What's really cool about all of these programs is that they're accelerating how many people are adopting ADUs. And so if you're feeling frustrated in the slightest, I want you to know that we're hitting big milestones. Literally thousands of people are building ADUs in California. So the first thing I'll point out is a study that Cole Peterson just released, a bunch of numbers from all the different cities and counties in California, and I think it might have come through the HCD, Housing and Community Development, but in any case, these are official numbers that talk about permits for accessory dwelling units, and it's super exciting. The state of California in 2019 permitted over 14,000 units, an 11-fold increase over the past 3 years. So if you're thinking like, man, this seems complicated, or it's expensive, is there an affordable way to get this done? Do people actually get these projects done? The answer is yes. Over 10,000 people got permits last year, and the majority of those complete, right? Overall, since accessory dwelling units have been a thing in California, California's permitted over 35,000 of these units. So it's really cool. We're hitting some real scale. And now the next kind of charts I want to throw up, these momentum stories, are from a California resident who built her own ADU in Walnut Creek, I think Walnut Creek, and she's now publishing lots of cool stories about her process and also publishing data sets of the breakdown of where these ADUs are popping up in different cities. Really fascinating stuff. So take a look at this slide. This is the city of San Jose, which is like in the top 5 ADU builders in the state, sorry. And despite all the setbacks that have presented from COVID-19, including the government offices being closed, including contractors not being able to be on the job site as much as they wanted to during the quarantine, including all the economic uncertainty, you still see growth year over year. 2020 is seeing more permits than 2019, and you just heard 2019 saw over 14,000 permits in the state. So it's great. Growth has slowed a little, which is understandable, but it's still growing year on year, and that's amazing. All right, another graph I want to show from Kat's blog is actually the Oakland map of ADU locations, because sometimes you hear like 14,000 in a year. Where are these ADUs? Are they like all in Los Angeles? Are they all, are there any in my neighborhood? The answer is almost definitely yes. Your community probably has some accessory dwelling units in it, but these are a form of hidden housing. You don't always change the character of the neighborhood when you add ADUs. If you drive through Oakland, where they're adding loads of ADUs, you might not see any from your car as you're driving down the street. Unless you spotted like a double mailbox with a split address, you might not notice the ADUs, because so often they're in the backyard or they're a part of the existing house, But actually, here's the map that shows how spread out they are in the city, and they're everywhere. That's super exciting. ADUs are all around us. The AD universe is expanding, and that puts wind in my sails. It shows me this can get done. You can do it. And if you ever get overwhelmed, I know a guy who can help. You just pop over to my website and get started by sharing your address. And, most of my subscribers get only the free resources, and that's A-okay. If you can use those to get your project done, that's amazing. If you need a little extra help, I do that too. But those are really encouraging stories. And then the last momentum pieces are national news stories. I think what's amazing is that this isn't just happening in California. It's not just in really kind of forward-thinking cities like Portland. It's all over the country. Freddie Mac just did a study of MLS listings. So that's when a house goes for sale. It goes up on the MLS, multiple listing service. And they found 1.4 million properties listing some kind of ADU or ADU equivalent for the first time over the years 97 to 2019. That's really interesting. It shows how all across the country people are starting to add to their properties these additional dwellings. And as governments like the state of California open up the legislation to make that easier, you're going to see it grow more and more. And it's going to be national, not just restricted to California. Rather selfishly, I got a huge kick out of helping some friends outside of California this month. A channel I love on YouTube that's all about tiny homes and tiny living. Not just tiny homes, but the lifestyle of living tiny and keeping your debt under control and having sound finances and all that goes along with it. One of my favorite channels, Living Tiny with the Bushes, reached out to me to help with their ADU research, and it was a blast. I operate primarily in California, but I love picking up the law books in another state and kind of helping the person read through the laws. They're super smart, so it was easy to kind of communicate all the different limits in a place like Dallas-Fort Worth versus other parts of Texas, or what could you do if you moved your tiny house on wheels to California or the East Coast. Really, really cool project, and it's showing that it's a national reach on this ADU stuff. We could really affect the whole country eventually and reduce the housing shortage, not just in California, but the nation. That's really exciting to me. And I know a lot of my subscribers, especially the new people, are coming from living tiny with the bushes. Huge thank you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I can do to make this channel better for you. And if you don't know Living Tiny with the Bushes, check out the link in the description below. Maurique and co are awesome, and I think you'll get a kick out of them. They're charming as anything, and they have a real awesome perspective on life. Okay, and I guess with all that, I want to say it's been an amazing month in an otherwise really challenging year, and throughout the month of August, being able to work on your accessory dwelling unit projects, answer your questions, has meant the world to me, because it distracts me from the smoke in the air and the fires around California and all the things that are going on in the world right now. And so for the rest of the month and the first week of September, if you get started by sharing your address with me on my website, you'll get entered in a little lottery, and I'll be giving out some electronic freebies to anybody who registers and starts their project. Please, 2020 is the year to persevere. So don't stop on your ADU. Get momentum. Get started. If you found all those charts and numbers exhilarating, you're going to love these stories about real people building ADUs and how it improves their lives and their communities. And then this is a playlist all about getting started. That's a little less rah-rah, woo-woo motivational and more like nuts and bolts. How do we do this, Ryan? How do we do this?